A couple of weeks ago, my boyfriend and I decided to go to Seattle just for a several day kind of mini vacation for the two of us, and while we were there I wanted to go to Daiso and check out just pretty much everything they had, but I peeked at their art section and I decided to pick up some of their paintbrushes that they had. Two of the three sets that I purchased were intended to be used as like calligraphy brushes, that's what they say on the packaging, and so I knew right off the bat that these probably wouldn't work the best when it came to using them with watercolors, but I decided it was worth a shot. They were like $1.50 in US dollars, so it wasn't really a loss on my part. Something that I did find very interesting was the pack of 5 brushes that I ended up getting. It actually says they are horsehair brushes, and in the ingredients they also say horsehair, so I was very surprised by that. I don't really know if that's true or not. I honestly only have synthetic brushes. I've never used any like natural fiber brushes before, so I don't, like, this isn't a review or anything on Daiso brushes, this is just me playing around with them. I was very surprised that they call themselves horsehair brushes, and quite frankly, they might be just because they are so, like, not similar to my other paintbrushes. They're very, I don't want to say flimsy, but the bristles are very, like, bouncy. I don't know. The bristles are weird. They're not firm. That's the best way I can describe them. And of course, I didn't expect these brushes to perform very, like, fantastic. I didn't expect them to replace the brushes that I normally use when I'm doing watercolor, which the brushes that I personally favor and the ones that I have the most variety of, the ones I use the most, are the Princeton Velveteen brushes. I have quite a selection of them that I purchased off of Blick a long time ago, just between like packs of them, and I got a couple like individual extras. There's a couple other straggler brushes I use here and there that I've gotten from Art Snacks boxes, but as a whole the Princeton Velveteen brushes are the ones that I use the most when I'm painting with watercolors, and I really like them. They hold a decent amount of water, they're all synthetic brushes. I do want to get some like nicer, larger mott brushes in the future, but those are expensive, so we're holding off on that for now because at the very least what I have works for me for the time being, so I am gonna stick with that while I can. So like I said, the set of brushes that were intended to be used for like painting and not calligraphy, they were very weird because like you put them down on the paper and they just like bent in every way, shape, and form. I mean, they obviously contorted to how you painted with them, so it's not like they would fray and go every which way, but they were very weird to work with. In this video, I'm just painting flowers because I wanted to do something simple with them. I wasn't really sure what I wanted to draw, so I just kind of went for it, and flowers is kind of a go-to for me. I find painting flowers to be just very fun, very peaceful, and something that I don't have to worry too much about, so for me, this was just a fun, like, playing around with brushes exercise, and it was nice to just fill up that rest of the page that I had going on. The sketchbook I'm working in is the ELO sketchbook, and I guess I'll talk about it. I don't want to make a video directly on the sketchbook because I think that's silly, but I will probably talk about it more when I do a sketchbook tour of the sketchbook, which isn't coming anytime soon by any means. I'm, like, quarter of the way through it, I believe, which is pretty far considering I haven't been working on it for too long, but this paper doesn't necessarily handle wet media very well. It holds it, it definitely holds it, but it definitely performs weird in some instances, and certain pieces of paper are weirder than others. Very odd, I don't understand it yet. I've pretty much mainly been using watercolor within the sketchbook, which is strange because it doesn't want to be used with watercolor. The sketchbook is not supposed to be used with watercolor or gouache. It's supposed to be used with dry media pretty much. Like, it works very well with markers, pencils, etc., but it does buckle quite a lot when it comes to painting with watercolors, but obviously that isn't stopping me, and quite frankly I really like the effects of putting watercolor on this paper, so I like to abuse my sketchbooks, specifically this one, and as a whole with these brushes, like, I don't really like them, honestly. I don't think I'll be picking them up anytime soon, but I am glad I bought them just to kind of play around with them, and I ended up painting some pretty flowers out of it, so I'm not going to complain. I think my favorite brush out of this set, my favorite brushes, I guess, out of this set were the two smaller calligraphy brushes that have the, like, bamboo-like base, I don't know what to call that. It's not even bamboo, it just looks like bamboo, but I think those were my favorite out of the bunch. The other ones I'm not a huge fan of, but like I said, they were just fun to play with. So thank you guys for watching, and I will see you in the next one.